not natural.
Why do you think it's not natural?
Well, how can two turd burglars have a baby? Not my scene, mate. No, not natural. It's not what God put on this earth for, is it? Simple.
As a secular society, marriage is a secular institution that is purely governed by law. And for me, marriage at the moment is a law that is openly discriminating against its citizens, which I feel is fundamentally wrong. And what marriage is a legal recognition and a legal protection of a relationship.
Some of the opponents of marriage equality say, well, actually marriage is a kind of a religious institution. It's not just something that the state does. Well, the problem with that is actually the Marriage Act is something that the state does. And I'm not saying, look, that me and my partner should be allowed to get married in a church that believes that they shouldn't do it. If a church has got a genuine doctrinal exception to marrying same-sex couples, I'm fine with that. I don't care what the church does. I do care what the state does. And the Marriage Act is how the state, in fact, provides validation to the relationship that a couple has.
First and foremost, it would be validation that, yes, I am part of society. I'm not being ostracised for reasons which are completely beyond my control.
The problem I have with the current law is the fact that Craig and I don't have the option open to us that, say, our best friends do. Like, we're engaged, they're engaged. They are engaged to be married, we are engaged to hope to be married.
That's the original of, you go back to the Bible, you go back to commandments or the rest of it, right? Now, I'm not religious, but that's the basics of what we work on. You go all the way through that, and marriage, like that, was frowned upon until about, I know this, late 50s, 60s of single women getting married, getting pregnant. That was frowned upon. She was sent away to a nunnery, or she was sent away to the cousin auntie or whatever. But that was the object of getting married, so you have kids. That was the whole object of the marriage.
Marriage has been known as many things throughout history. Marriage has been, it's been a form of slavery where a man owns more than one woman. It's been known as two men at one point during the Roman Empire. It's been known as so many things. So the idea that some people have this idea that it's been given to gay people. Marriage is, it's a right that's been given. Whereas, I think we're of the opinion that gay marriage is something that is sort of something that should be there. It should just be, it's not something that needs to be given. It's not theirs to give. I feel that civil unions were the halfway point. I feel that civil unions were the meat that the straight community, or not necessarily the straight community, but society in general felt that they needed to throw to the gay community to shut them up.
What I saw was an awful lot of reluctance to move on that front. But I mean, what we really wanted even back then was marriage equality. We didn't want to create this special new thing for us specifically, but there was clearly no way that the Parliament was going to go anywhere near marriage equality.
It was definitely a positive step, but the thing that really bothers me about civil unions is it's the same but different. So it provides really similar protections to marriage in law, but the fact that it has that name separation, this civil union's just for the gays.
I think a civil union is pretty much the same as a marriage, but I think that they should be eligible to adopt. I'm just not entirely comfortable with the whole idea of it, really. I think, it's like it's always been a man and a woman's marriage. Like, if they come up with, say, another term or thing for same-sex marriages, like not marriage, but another word, I reckon that would be alright. But it's just always been the same for so long, why try to change it, you know?
What has happened in the meantime is that the world has become a very different place. And in particular, over the last couple of years, lots of countries, lots of jurisdictions have moved to allow marriage. And I guess what's happened is legislators right around the world have kind of got over the prejudice that was the obstacle to marriage equality.
If this law doesn't end up going through, we're very seriously considering going to Canada, which to me seems insane. We're born and bred in this country, and we want to have our love legally recognised in the country that we adore and the country we live in, with all our friends and family around us.
When someone says, well, it undermines heterosexual marriage, well, how does it do that? I mean, how does me getting married actually affect anybody else's marriage at all, unless they're getting married to me? And well, look, if you don't support same-sex marriage, don't marry me.
Well, I think everyone has the right to, choose what sex that they're, they want to live with and be with for the rest of their life, and yeah, making it legal is great.
Actually, it's kind of important that you actually had the external validation from the state and from wider society saying actually these relationships are valuable in the same way that straight relationships are valuable.
It's a really clear message from the government to the entire society saying this is okay. Saying to every gay person, every gay, bisexual, transgender person in the country, what it says to all these people is that you are okay. You are a good human being. You are recognised by your government. There is nothing to be ashamed of. You are a member of our society and you are valued equally compared to everyone else, which I think is absolutely brilliant.
But also a society that genuinely celebrates its diversity. And New Zealand actually has a bit of a tradition of conformity and people needing to conform to a particular way of being to actually fit in, and I think we're moving away from that now, and actually I just want to see that completely destroyed. I want to see the natural diversity of humanity actually properly reflected in the way that we are as a society. That's where I'd love to see us.
I mean, come on, we're Kiwis. We lead the world in this sort of thing. We're accepting, wonderful people. Kia kaha. I feel that civil unions were the halfway point. I feel that
Sex between consenting adult men legal.
you don't want to start and stop at this.